Goody goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 36 of Shaman King 2021. So in the last episode, in the very end, we get this shocking revelation that Chocolove was the one that killed the children's father on Christmas night. And they were the ones that killed Chocolove's gang. And in the start of this episode, it starts with this giant explosion. And it cuts to Mikihisa down and out and talks about the golem itself and how it has the ability called spirit search, which it could, I guess, pinpoint where to find a certain someone, I guess. And I believe that's how the golem found Chocolove. And he was very surprised that the golem had such an ability and found Chocolove very quickly. And so how Mikihisa got beaten up, I'm guessing it was the golem. And he ends up summoning his guardian spirits to go send for Anna and Yo, hoping that they could help. Meanwhile, Chocolove does his best to dodge the golem's attacks. And you would think that with his attacks, he was able to defeat the golem. Not really. Because after slicing the golem, he pretty much went into tears, and just wants to apologize that I'm truly sorry that I'm the one that killed your father. And then all of a sudden he gets shot through the heart. Next thing you know, the golem resurfaces and it has regenerating powers. Luckily, Yo and Ryu appeared and saved Chocolove from falling. And Ryu takes Chocolove, and then it's up to Yo to stop the kids from going on a vengeful rampage. And Rebseb, I think is his name, at least for what I can remember, gets all angry at Yo because so you're the one who saved Chocolove. Do you know that this guy, your friend, killed my father? And if you're helping him, that means you are our enemy. And Yo asks, like, well, you got your vengeance. Would you just stop this now? But Rebseb just, like I said before, is really mad, angry, and ends up shooting at Yo. And Yo managed to survive the attack, and he asked Rebseb, if I fight to get, would I fight you? And because I have rights to fight you because you so I can get vengeance on you for killing Chocolove. So he has a point, but here's the thing. Yo is trying to teach the children a lesson about vengeance. And I'm just gonna say this now. That vengeance is never justified, and it just creates more vengeance. For example, if if Rebseb kills a friend of mine, do I have the right to have vengeance on them for killing my best friend? And then once I do, what would happen if those children's relatives, siblings, whatever it is, discovers that I killed them and want revenge on me? So the cycle of vengeance is it's never gonna end, because it's gonna be one thing after another and there's no stopping it. So Yo is trying to try to reason with them and teach them a lesson about vengeance. And so he unleashes his spirit of sword, and then it cuts to Anna, and they're not in a hurry. And reason being is that she has faith in Yo, and Yo doesn't get into fights that might kill him. I mean, he's strong, don't get me wrong, and Yo is smart enough to know that, yeah, if I could survive this battle or would not, but he will find a way. The thing is, if he were to fight Hao, that would be a different story, since he's not up there in mana yet, but you know. Anyway, meanwhile, Ryu is with Chocolove trying to find someone to heal him, and Tokagera assumed that should we go to the X-Loss and hopefully they will do what they did to Ren, but Ryu points out that I don't think the X-Loss will help because they got what they wanted. Yo is gone from the tournament. There's no reason for them to help him. And he makes a good point. The X-Loss has no reason to help them in their ire of need, even though the X-Loss deemed to be the goody goodies. You know, they're willing to help other people, and the Iron Maiden is like the holy, like the saint, and should be open to heal the sick and help the poor, you know, that sort of thing. But Ryu realized that the X-Loss is not going to help, and he figured there is another team out there that will be willing to help Chocolove. Is the team that saved Ryu in the last episode, which is Team Gran Hara, the Buddhist team. And as they were traveling to find them, Ryu is also taking Choco's team or gang along with them, and we all assumed that they were dead, but apparently not. So all of them could be saved if they can reach Team Gran Hara on time. In time. Sorry, bad grammar. And I do apologize for the butchering of the names. I do apologize on that. Anyways, back to Yo fighting the kids. He is trying to dodge the golem's lasers, and And apparently it could puncture mountains and towns because you see all these holes that the lasers made, and it's really intense. And Rebseb is unleashing a barrage of attacks that looks like they're having a war, and it's only 3 people and 2 spirits. It's crazy. And so Yo tries to attack, but the golem uh, changes to its flight mode and tries to not tries. He unleashes a barrage of lasers down, and we assume that's it. It's the end. But Yo ends up jumping and lands on the golem. And before the golem tries to shoot, he cuts off its head. And Yo knows about the regenerated powers the golem has, but it looks like after chopping its head off, it can regenerate. And Rebseb tries to attack Yo and ends up falling, but luckily Minaru saves him. Next thing you know, he gets shot by the golem apparently, and they both fall off the golem. And the boy didn't realize how much power this golem has. Apparently, this golem has more secrets. And as they were falling, Yo uses his spirit of sword to land safely and tells Rebseb to leave, and I promise to keep your little sister safe somehow. And the little sister, if you're wondering where she is, she's in the core, and looks like she is controlling the golem. Meanwhile, Chocolove, it looks like he's in the realm. I believe he's in purgatory because you see all these gates, but Chocolove assumes that he's in hell. And all of a sudden, his old master appears, and Chocolove is like, "Hey, are you in hell too?" And his teacher just whacks him with what it looks like some kind of bar on his head, telling him, "You're a moron. No, I'm not in hell. I followed you here." And the teacher explains that they're in a world in between, inside the Great Spirit, and explains that when you die, your spirit goes inside the Great Spirit, and that's where the soul goes to where it needs to go, either in heaven or in hell or in the world in between, which is purgatory. And after this whole revelation about the Great Spirit, the teacher tells Chocolove to come with him, to go with him, sorry. Bad grammar. And I will guide you to the grandest spirit of them all. So I'm guessing that they're gonna go talk to some kind of grand master or something. So we'll see in the next episode, right? Meanwhile, back in the forest, Yo is intending to heal himself using an oversoul, and then it cuts to the scene where the poor boy is just wondering what the hell is this golem all about? Like, what is the reason behind its creation? And there's a flashback of his dad making the golem. And I don't know who is helping the father. It could be their mom or an assistant, but you see this diagram of the tree of Cliffoff. I'm not sure if it's the right name for it, but I'm gonna use that. Of course, you could always comment down below of what it actually is, but it has some kind of connection. And meanwhile, the sister finds the two boys using the spirit search and transforms into its battle mode and tries to attack Yo, because I assume Yo is their first target. I don't think the sister's gonna target her little brother. So yeah, but just when we all assume that the golem's gonna attack Yo, guess who pops out of nowhere? Hao. And what makes matters worse is his goon squad also appears. And they're having this talk. And during this talk, I think one of the goons were wondering, like, how in the hell these two kids be able to power this golem that contains a huge amount of mana. And it was discovered that it's not the kids, it was their father. So it looks like their father's spirit has been with them the entire time, and now he is controlling his daughter in the battles in this episode with Chocolove and Yo, and now this. So yeah, their father has been with them the entire time and now controlling the little girl. Yeah, and so once that revelation was discovered, the possessed little girl, which I cannot pronounce her name, ends up slicing off the Spirit of Fire's nails. He ends up chopping its arms off and tries to sneak attack the spirit from behind, and we all assume that the golem may have a chance to defeat the Spirit of Fire, but no, it wasn't the case. The Spirit of Fire ends up getting the golem yet again, and we all know why. Hao is doing this, because he senses a huge amount of mana in this machine, and so he wants to eat it. Yo is telling Hao that you can't harm the golem, let it go. And Hao is like, no, like, what are you gonna do about it? Injured or not, you're no match against me, so back off. But Yo is keeping his ground, and so Hao unleashes his servants to attack him, and just when the Spirit of Fire attempts to eat the golem, Yo sneaks out from behind And just when we all thought that Yo's gonna take this blow to the spirit, guess who takes it instead? Lyserg's guardian angel. Not only he slices through the spirit of fire, but also captures the golem. And Lyserg appears, Ren appears, and Horo appears. So the majority of the whole gang is here to help Yo. And Yo was wondering, like, how did you guys get here? Like, why are you here? I assumed you're napping. No, it wasn't the case. Lyserg felt that he needed to follow Yo after Yo said something that made him think, like, wait a minute, what's going on? So, and Yo mentioned, like, what is it that I said that gave you the impression that you needed to follow me? And it was, you get what you give. And there's another revelation. Apparently Lyserg saw everything. He saw Chocolove fighting the children, to him wanting forgiveness, because you see Chocolove crying and I'm saying I'm sorry, and of course Rebseb rejects rejects the apology, and saw how Chocolove got shot. He let it happen. And the reason why is just that he wanted to understand something about what Yo tried to make Lyserg to understand, that killing isn't justice. Vengeance isn't the way. And he finally understood what his message was about. And Lyserg can relate so much with Rebseb and his little sister, because his family was murdered by Hao, and as you can remember from both versions, that he is hell-bent on wanting revenge on Hao, to the point where he joined the X-Laws, because he kind of figured that being with Yo would not give him the vengeance that he wanted and needed. And therefore, I think now Lyserg finally understood, and he and his friends will have a showdown with Hao and his followers. And that's the end of the episode. This episode is all about the lesson of vengeance, of how vengeance is just a very dark place to follow, a really dark path to follow, because it's never ending, and even if you achieve your vengeance, you will feel nothing. You will never feel better. And the perfect example is Callisto. If you're a Xena Hercules fan, then you know who I'm talking about. Callisto wants revenge on Xena for killing her family, her village, her childhood. And she spent her years training for the day that she will get vengeance on Xena. And when she got her revenge, she felt nothing. She felt empty. She thought that if she will give that pain to her, she will finally get rid of that pain and life will go on, but nothing changes. And Yo also pointed out that, well, you killed my friend. Well, not yet. Do I have the right to seek vengeance on you? You see, it's a painful cycle that will never end and just ends up causing more destruction on both sides. And so, so this whole episode, in my opinion, was all about what vengeance is, and that it's what vengeance is, and not take justice on your own hands, if it makes any sense. And that's what Yo was trying to do with his two boys, with Lyserk and Rebseb. And we'll see what happens in the next episode, because all of his friends minus Ryu and Chocolove are all there. So it's going to be between the Yo-Yos versus Hao, and let's see how that's going to play out in the next episode, which, by the way, is the last episode of 2021, believe it or not. This year went by fast, guys. It's crazy. Well, I took this, this is a long episode, but it's a good episode, and I tried my best to dissect it. Hopefully you like it. Give a like if you like it. Give a dislike if you don't. And I'll see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!